Many people believe that genetics has a significant role in determining life expectancy. Genes, on the other hand, play a far lower impact than previously thought. It turns discovered that environmental factors such as diet and lifestyle play a significant role. Here are a few habits that have been connected to living a long life. 1. Avoid overeating. The relationship between calorie consumption and longevity is currently attracting a lot of attention. According to animal research, a 10% to 50% reduction in normal calorie consumption may extend maximum longevity. Low calorie intake, a longer lifespan, and a lower risk of disease have all been linked in studies of human populations famed for their longevity. Furthermore, calorie restriction may aid in the reduction of excess body weight and abdominal fat, both of which are linked to shortened lifespans. Long-term calorie restriction, on the other hand, is generally unsustainable and can result in severe side effects such as increased appetite and a drop in body temperature. 2. Eat more nuts. Nuts are nutrient-dense foods. Protein, fiber, antioxidants, and healthful plant components are abundant in them. Nuts have been shown in several trials to help with heart disease, high blood pressure, inflammation, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, belly fat levels, and even some cancers. According to one study, participants who ate at least 3 servings of nuts each week had a 39% lower risk of dying prematurely. Similarly, 2 recent studies including over 350,000 people found that those who ate nuts had a 4 to 27% decreased risk of dying throughout the study period, with the biggest reductions occurring in those who ate 1 serving of nuts per day. 3. Try out turmeric. Turmeric is an excellent anti-aging supplement. This is due to the presence of a bioactive component called curcumin in this spice. Curcumin is thought to help maintain brain, heart, and lung function, as well as guard against cancer and age-related disorders, thanks to its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory qualities. Turmeric, on the other hand, has been consumed in India for thousands of years and is usually regarded safe. 4. Eat plenty of healthy plant foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and beans, among other plant foods, may reduce illness risk and improve longevity. Many studies have linked a plant-rich diet to a lower risk of premature death, as well as cancer, metabolic syndrome, heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. Plant foods' minerals and antioxidants, such as polyphenols, carotenoids, folate, and vitamin C, are thought to be responsible for these effects. Furthermore, some studies suggest that increasing meat consumption raises the risk of premature death and certain diseases. Other research, on the other hand, indicate no or very weak connections, with the detrimental effects appearing to be specifically tied to processed beef. 5. Stay physically active. Staying physically active can keep you healthy and add years to your life, which should come as no surprise. With as little as 15 minutes of exercise per day, you could gain benefits such as an extra 3 years of life. Furthermore, each additional 15 minutes of daily physical activity may reduce your risk of premature death by 4%. Individuals who exercised had a 22% lower risk of early mortality, despite working out for less than the recommended 150 minutes per week, according to a recent study. People who met the 150-minute recommendation had a 28% lower risk of dying prematurely. Furthermore, individuals who went above the guidelines accounted for 35% of the total. 6. Don't smoke. Tobacco use is highly connected to disease and death at a young age. Smokers may lose up to 10 years of life and are 3 times as likely to die prematurely than individuals who never light a cigarette. It's important to remember that it's never too late to quit. According to one study, quitting smoking before the age of 35 can extend one's life by up to 8.5 years. In addition, stopping smoking in your 60s could add 3.7 years to your life. In fact, quitting in your 80s may have certain advantages. 7. Moderate your alcohol intake. Heavy drinking has been related to liver, heart, and pancreatic illness, as well as a higher risk of dying young. Moderate intake, on the other hand, is linked to a lower risk of various diseases, as well as a 17 to 18% lower chance of early mortality. Wine is thought to be particularly advantageous due to its high polyphenol antioxidant content. According to the findings of a 29-year study, men who favored wine were 34% less likely to die young than men who chose beer or spirits. Women should aim for 1 to 2 units per day or a maximum of 7 units per week to keep their consumption reasonable. Men should consume no more than 3 units per day and no more than 14 units per week. 8. Prioritize your happiness. Having a positive attitude can help you live longer. Over the course of a 5-year trial, happy people had a 3.7% lower risk of dying young. A study of 180 Catholic nuns looked at their self-reported pleasure levels when they first arrived at the monastery and compared them to their lifespan. Those who were happy at the age of 22 had a 2.5-fold higher chance of still being alive 6 decades later. Finally, an analysis of 35 studies found that people who are happy live up to 18% longer than those who are unhappy. 9. Avoid chronic stress and anxiety. Anxiety and stress have been linked to a shorter lifespan. Women who are stressed or anxious, for example, are said to be up to 2 times more likely to die from heart disease, stroke, or lung cancer. Similarly, nervous or agitated males have a 3-fold higher risk of dying prematurely than their more calm colleagues. Laughter and optimism may be 2 crucial components of the treatment if you're stressed. Pessimistic persons had a 42% higher risk of dying young than more optimistic people, according to studies. Laughter and a good view on life, on the other hand, can lower stress and help you live longer. 10. Nurture your social circle. According to studies, having a healthy social network can help you live up to 50% longer. In fact, having just 3 social ties can reduce your risk of dying young by over 200%. Healthy social networks have also been linked to improvements in heart, brain, hormone, and immune function, which may reduce your risk of chronic diseases. A robust social circle may also help you react less negatively to stress, which could explain the longevity benefit. 11. Be more conscientious. The ability to be self-disciplined, organized, efficient, and goal-oriented is referred to as conscientiousness. Children who were persistent, structured, and disciplined lived 11% longer than their less scrupulous counterparts, according to data from a research that followed 1,500 boys and girls into old age. Conscientious people may have lower blood pressure, fewer psychiatric disorders, and a lower risk of diabetes, heart disease, and joint difficulties. This could be due to the fact that conscientious people are less likely to take unsafe risks or react poorly to stress, and are more likely to have successful careers and take care of their health. 12. Drink coffee or tea. Coffee and tea have both been associated to a lower risk of chronic disease. Green tea, for example, contains polyphenols and catechins that may lower your risk of cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Coffee has also been associated to a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, certain malignancies, and brain diseases including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. In addition, coffee and tea consumers had a 20 to 30% lower risk of premature death than non-drinkers. Remember that too much caffeine can cause anxiety and insomnia, so restrict your intake to 400 milligrams per day, around 4 cups of coffee, to avoid these side effects. 13. Develop a good sleeping pattern. Sleep is essential for regulating cell function and aiding in the healing process. According to a recent study, regular sleeping patterns, such as going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, are likely linked to lifespan. Sleep duration appears to be an issue as well, with both too little and too much sleep being detrimental. Sleeping less than 5 to 7 hours per night, for example, has been associated to a 12% increased risk of early mortality, whereas sleeping more than 8 to 9 hours per night has been linked to a 38% reduction in lifetime. Sleep deprivation can increase your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and obesity by promoting inflammation. All of these factors have been related to a shorter lifespan. Excessive sleep, on the other hand, has been linked to depression, limited physical activity, and untreated health concerns, all of which can shorten your lifespan. The bottom line: longevity may appear to be out of your hands, yet numerous healthy practices can help you live to a ripe old age. Drinking coffee or tea, exercising, getting enough sleep, and reducing alcohol use are just a few of them.